Hello friends and divine beings of YouTube, welcome back to the channel. This is Allie Tarot 108. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Today we are covering a very recent disaster that happened in Texas with the Camp Mystic tragedy that happened where 27 or 28 minimum lives were lost on the campground for young ladies, girls, and many lives were lost and many people have been very touched by this tragedy. So actually I also do want to add that this is a viewer request today. A viewer commented and requested that we look into this topic today because I do cover world event readings as well as celebrity readings, political readings, all sorts of readings on many different subjects under the sun. But yeah, basically, if you are new here, I would like to say welcome to the channel. My name is Ali. I am a tarot reader, astrologer, psychic, medium. I am a avid meditator, and I lived as an actual nun for several years when I was younger. But anyway, enough about me. This reading is very important and very delicate, and I want to share with you that during these readings involving tragedy, I also did it for the recent Air India tragedy that happened. I like to light a candle for the lives that have been lost and surround it with some flowers that I have offered on my altar. So these flowers I just offered just before I sat down to do this reading, and when I was offering, I got this very, very strong feeling like benediction coming up from well, the deities there on the altar, and I got this strong feeling of like a hand of divinity or a hand of God, you can say, or even goddess, just putting the hand on me, which I feel gives the message to all the people that have been affected by this tragedy and the lives that have been lost as well. I feel it like a healing hand. So I just wanted to communicate that with all of you today and really pass on that energy. I feel like I'm supposed to pass on that message. So I do want to say that there is a message to the people who have been affected by this tragedy, that there is a hand of God, or even goddess. I get that energy of goddess coming up strongly in this tragedy. And I do know that the place where this tragedy struck was a place where it was a actual kind of religious camp, Camp Mystic being a more so Christian camp. And I get a message coming up to me right now, like whispered to me, which says that it says to all the people who are involved there, people who have lost loved ones, and people who had any connection to this camp, it says, I get this message whispered in my ear, don't forget about, the higher being, the higher power, about God, and I can see if I watch any interviews about the survivors or people who this tragedy has touched, that they really are remaining very strong and steadfast in their faith through this time, and just really praying a lot and coming together, all those people coming together. And it's really like a horrible, horrible tragedy. When I tap into that energy, I get these visions of like that night, and it's very like as if I was there, it's very like adrenaline. It's very make it or break it moment going on. But yeah, I do want to offer this lamp. If you notice my background today, if you are a follower of my channel and you notice my background is different, that's because I am actually in a different location today, and I didn't have my tea table, but I tried to make a nice setup that I could. I'm in my cottage, you can say, and I've got a lot of my kind of herbs and dried stuff that I have done last year here. But anyway, yeah, let's say, I suppose, a few words and give a moment of silence for the survivors and the lives that have been lost, especially for the lives that have been lost. I feel this is so important. Yeah. So, I would like to say that we offer these flowers and offer this homage to the lives that have been lost in the tragedy of the Camp Mystic. May those souls that have been, departed from this world, may those souls that have departed from this world find their way to peace and to light, back home, back to God. And may the families of those lives that have been lost be, strong in this time, steadfast in this time. And just prayers for that community as well. Prayers for that community that they make it through this period and this time. And yeah, we offer flowers unto these departed souls as well. And just remember that this world is, there's life and there is death. Yeah, our lives are fragile, are they not? So, pray for the ones you love. Prayer for these people who have lost the ones that they love in this time. And yeah, thank you. So let's keep our flowers around as well. And I feel these flowers, when I was picking these flowers, I felt this energy of like these young girls. They're really like, you can compare a young lady really to like a beautiful flower. And it's so tragic what happened to all those very young girls, so young, so many of them. And so I feel like it is going to be kind of a difficult reading that we're doing today, but let's see how it goes. So starting with these oracles, we've also got these ones and these ones, as well as this one and this one. Okay, so let's begin. So actually, I think we should start with the past lives oracle, because we're kind of starting to look into the past. Although this is not a past, present, future necessarily reading about this situation, we can look into what was going on that night, what happened just before. So this tragedy occurred on July 4th, and I did read that the camp had its emergency clearance checked just on July 2nd. So I think it would be definitely worth looking at what were the circumstances that led up to this tragedy, other than the flash flooding, if there's anything else they could have done, or if there's anything that we need to be told about this situation. There is one coming out here. So what do we need to know? So yeah, wow, okay, so performer. So we know that the Camp Mystic, it has a very, very long heritage. It's still standing, although part of it was damaged. And it is camp for young women, and it's like over 100 years old, I believe. So with this card here, performer, musician, dancer, entertainer, actor, it's like, wow, lesson in peace. It's, oh, faith, secret, interesting. Okay. But anyway, yeah, with the performer card here, it's like, yeah, there was a lot of focus on that. I get a message coming up, And I'm not sure it's even appropriate to say, but I get the message coming up. They were distracted, is the message coming up. Like they were very busy with the things that they were doing, the things that they were engaged in. I feel like there is a big focus on that. Not necessarily that it took away from, any of the safety, but I feel like for a lot of the young campers, you know, it's not always necessarily a priority in the mind of a very young person to think about their own safety first and foremost. You know, it's generally older people and adults around thinking about that more. But yeah, we know that Camp Mystic, it is a place where they do a lot of dancing, entertaining, actor, you know, stage arts and music and such. So yeah. What else comes up? Take a few of these. What do I need to know about these events that took place? Okay, air disaster. Yeah. Well, it was definitely a disaster. You see tornado here. It says plane crash, asteroid, bomb. Well, it wasn't necessarily anything like that, but yes, it was a disaster. With flooding, flash flooding, and you see here accident drama, location jungle. It's really like, it's like, it is in the forest, you know, and the nature-based faith. We see here this identity adult male, and I feel like that could be speaking about the man, Richard, who was running the camp, who also did lose his life, unfortunately, in this disaster. So yes, we have that energy of disaster coming up. I feel like we're kind of seeing a timeline. Oh, burned. So things were not necessarily burned, but you see here it says house fire, and you see how the flames are coming up, and it looks even more like a flood than it does a house fire. Yeah, interesting. Age of Atlantis is coming up here. Yeah, so let's look at these ones. What else do we need to know about this tragedy? What is important for us to know? I feel like we need to get to the important messages. What do we need to know specifically for this tragedy coming up? Okay, so it says Autumn, the Queen, within 6 to 9 months. Yeah. From this card, I am getting a message about it will be within this time that I feel like there will be a lot of healing going on for sure among this community, among the parents who have lost their daughters in this tragedy. With the full moon coming up here, I get that energy of like having to move full circle, and a lot of remembrance coming up. Yeah, I'm just getting these visions of like ceremonies, like can be funeral ceremonies, and not necessarily funeral ceremonies, but like remembrance ceremonies for the people who have lost their lives, for the young girls who have lost their lives and other people who have lost their lives in this tragedy, disaster. There's a card coming up here. Baby. Okay, that's interesting. It says Cardinal, new beginnings, rapid growth, fresh start, unlimited potential, innocent, continuing the legacy, needy, warmth, purity, new phase, birth of a child, vulnerable. Okay, so I feel like for the Camp Mystic community, this tragedy is like a turning point in the legacy of this camp. And we see a lot of different energies coming up here. We see there's Aries, Cancer, Libra, and this is Capricorn, I believe. Yes, Capricorn. So it is about taking action with the Aries energy, but in a soft way with that Cancer energy, and also in a practical way, and about maintaining relationships and strength of community with the Libra and the Capricorn elements there. And also, I feel with the Capricorn element coming up as well, there will be an aspect of the camp trying to ensure campers that this won't happen again, especially for the business side of things. But I feel like it's not so much about business with this camp, really. It's not. It's about community. It's about love, loving each other. As well, I get the word faith whispered in my ear because we know that it is a Christian camp. With the new beginnings, it's kind of like I see them potentially having a memorial every year for the lives that were lost in this tragedy. I do see rebuilding and trying to make things stronger and better and safer. And I feel this energy of, and I'm being whispered, like safety is very important for this community and for this campground. And I feel like there are a lot of concerns, and there are going to be a lot of concerns in the future about the safety of people in general at that camp, especially with parents. I feel parents who want to send their kids to that camp in the future, who have never been there before and who aren't necessarily already within that community. I feel like they are going to, I get just this energy of they're going to be scared. They're going to be hesitant to send their kids there. But I feel with the camp, they are going to try to rebuild and do it, you know, like we're stronger than ever, we're better than ever. And I see actually this kind of energy of everyone like holding hands, like a ton of people. I'm getting this vision of like a ton of people, like the families and the people who are involved in that camp, just like standing and holding hands and just kind of swaying side to side with each other and doing this kind of a kumbaya prayer type thing for the lives that have been lost. And I feel like this could become some kind of a ritual, you know, like something that they could do every year maybe for the tragedy that has struck this year. But I do definitely feel like the Camp Mystic is going to carry on, and they're very proud of what they do there, and they really love the community. I feel like everyone loves the community there, and they kind of look forward to it all the time, like all year. It's like a very big thing in their life. So let's see what else comes up right now. Some messages are coming up for us. Love. Oh, I love that. Divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation. Only love itself. Wow. Oh my God. Oh my God, guys. Oh my goodness. You know, like love. I even don't have words for this card coming up. Like I'm feeling it so strong. It's like divine source is the idea that no person, place, or thing is your salvation. Only love itself. I get that feeling like they're going to be very bound. Yeah, this camp is more about love than anything, and really sharing in the love. It's really like, I feel it's quite a rare place of purity, actually. Like it's a place where I feel like everyone really, really just loved each other and still loves each other. And that's why it hurts so much, and it hurts so hard with that community to lose these loved ones, essentially. I get this message right now coming up like that people around would say something like they were like my own daughters, you know, for those young girls who lost their lives. I want to tell you right now that I get this vision coming up when I'm being given this vision actually of those girls in those cabins that were swept away, about unconscious is the word that I'm getting, and it's kind of this image that I'm being given of well, you know how it was that they left this world, that their souls left this world as you know, there were floods, and I get I'm just getting this vision, and I kind of don't want to share it with you guys actually, because it's a little bit like intense and sad really. But anyway, back to the cards. So it's like, I feel these people in this community having really a ton of compassion for each other. And I feel like mothers to mothers mourning for the loss of children who felt like they were their own children. They weren't necessarily their own birth children, but they felt like their own children. And I feel everybody really embracing each other in this situation. Okay, there's another card that came up here. So what is it? Clearing. Okay, it says, as true offering arises, it becomes easy to let go. You start to trust that more will always arrive. You shift from mine to God's. Such freedom. Wow. I feel like for anybody in that community who, I get this message right now, for anybody in that community who may have recently been kind of doubting their faith or feeling less connected with the community, or it's like all of those things just are gone, you know, gone away. Like anybody around involved in that community, and also in the larger American community in general, I feel this energy of a lot of people actually praying for this situation. So with the deity of Ganesh, it is about destroying obstacles, you know. So it's like the message comes up, you know, especially because they are a religious community, from mine to God's. People stopped thinking about themselves, and they still have stopped thinking about themselves with this tragedy. And it says here, such freedom. Like, I feel like this is a test of faith for many people in that community. It's interesting. You start to trust that more will always arrive. And with this card also, I get the feeling of like time will heal the wound as much as it can. But I feel like, of course, for those people that have lost their children or loved ones in this disaster, they'll never forget that loved one that was in your life. But yeah, it is that shift among this community. They're already very, very like community and faith-based and everything, and trying to, I get the feeling like they're quite, you know, driven by devotion, you can say, to God. But yeah, it shifts it toward that even in a bigger way. And also, this event, I am getting it coming up right now, that this event has created a lot of publicity for their camp, so that the name of their camp is heard all around the world, actually, in circles and among people who have never heard of it before, and I mean, including me, before this tragedy. But I feel actually from this card also a lot of money coming in to the camp, a lot of donations coming in, a lot of money coming in, a lot of money for rebuilding, and donations for the survivors, and donations for the families who have lost their children or relative in this tragedy. A lot of money coming in is what I am seeing. I want to take a couple of these also. So what do we need to know? What else do we need to know about this tragedy that has gone on? I feel like it's actually that one. Interesting. Flower of life. I get a really big energy coming up, and I get the word coming up, interconnectedness, from this card. And we talked about the flowers earlier, but wow, guys, I'm getting right now like whispers actually coming up from some of the girls, you can say, who lost their lives. And unfortunately, like, I can't say anyone by name, and I get these girls coming up to me, like their spirits coming up to me, and I like, a few of them are coming at once, and they're like kind of whispering in my ear, like, I want you to tell my my mom this, and I want you to tell, specifically one girl is coming up and she's telling me, I want you to tell my mom this. And I feel it's actually, wow, a lot of them are actually coming to me right now. A few of the younger girls, and a few of the older camp counselors I know were there who were like 18 years old. I get a couple of those coming up. And I want to say that one of the younger girls, and she tells me she was 8 years old. She tells me that, so she whispers in my ear and she tells me that, like, I want you to tell my mom something. I want you to tell her that I knew it was going to go on, is what she says. It's kind of like, I knew it was, she says, like, I knew it was going to go on that night, that it was a panic. And I get this emotion coming up and this feeling of like my heart racing coming up to me right now. And she kind of shows me like her last moments of like bum 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 bum, like heart racing and not knowing what to do in that situation, and kind of like I have to go on, is what she's saying. And it must mean like I have to go on to the other side. Yeah. I'm just listening to her. She says, like, I had to go on to the other side. And basically, like, she kind of tells me, I want you to tell my mom. But honey, I don't know your mom. So she says, okay, so just tell in the video, or tell the people. She says, just tell the people and my mom will know who it is. I have to tell her, I'm not even sure if your mom will know this video. She says, I know, just tell the people. I said, okay. I say, okay. Anyway, with the flower of life, this card is like, I feel it also, that energy of a lot of people coming together with all these small petals. And with the, line of chakras in the middle, is like, we all have to align. We're all coming together for this purpose. So let's see what else comes up. One more, and then we can go into our tarot. I have some specific questions for tarot coming up. Home. Wow, that's really incredible. And the strong energy and message coming up from this card is that the camp was and still feels like home to many people. But you see with the flowers here, it is that offering again, that offering of remembrance. And especially with the poppy flower, at least in Canada, poppy flower is a flower for Remembrance Day, as well as in the UK, Australia. It's for remembrance of fallen soldiers. Yeah, so there's a big energy of remembrance, and like also about we carry on. And we see here actually 13, which is number 4 in numerology, 1 plus 3, which is the energy of home. Actually, in astrology, it is the 4th house of home and family and nurturing as well, and really caring about other people in a very soft and beautiful way. It's also a feminine and motherly energy. So yeah, interesting that comes up. So I also do have this one, Sea Melodies. Let's look at what comes up in Sea Melodies. Anything else important that we need to know? Thank you. Self-care. Oh my God. Just look at this. Self-care. Drowning doesn't always require water. Can we just take a moment to pause on this card and reflect? Oh my God. This is such an intense reading, guys. I'm actually tearing up right now, and I'm getting a very, very emotional, strong feeling coming up here. But yeah, drowning doesn't always require water. I'm actually getting tears coming up in my eyes right now, guys. I'll let you take that in and evaluate, what it means for yourself. I think I don't even need to explain, But what I can say is that for many people, when they have a tragedy in their life, when they lose a loved one, it can be that feeling of drowning. Like you can't go on, like you can't live, like the grief is swallowing you. It's like, I feel a lot of caring among this community. I've said it so many times, but a lot of caring for others. And I just see this image of like calling people on the phone amongst each other, and making sure that others are okay, especially those who have lost loved ones in this tragedy. Definitely. There's a lot of, this is a very tight-knit community. I really find it so beautiful. Yeah, but we are now going to look in the tarot. And we are going to ask, you know, what could have been done to prevent this tragedy? What could have been done to prevent this tragedy? What do we need to know? What could have been done to prevent this tragedy? This is coming up. Lovers in reverse. Okay. That's interesting. What else comes up? Please give us anything that we need to know. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Well, is there anything that could have been done is also a question. Emperor. Six of Cups. What else? Okay, we have a few coming up here. We have Two of Wands. King of Cups. And actually, I feel it's only this one. Empress. Okay, we have Emperor and Empress coming up here. That's quite interesting. We have one more. What do we need to know and about this situation? This is a question coming up here. Eight of Pentacles. That's really interesting because it is really like camp, summer camp kind of theme here, but it's in reverse here. So let's read and figure out what does it all mean. It's interesting that the Lovers came up first, and it is the number 6 energy with the Lovers. So it is that Virgo energy about details, capability, and with it being in reverse, it would be the meaning of, you know, not paying attention to details necessarily. With Knight of Pentacles in reverse here as well, it could also be something about not investing enough, actually. Actually, I get a message about not doing things quickly enough with safety plans. I get this message about like, there could have been new recent safety plans or measures or like a program or something that was implemented by the camp, but I feel this energy of like, we didn't do it enough, or like we didn't practice it enough, or like we should have done kind of like more to ensure that everybody knew this system. And it's interesting, we have the Emperor and both the Emperor and the Empress coming up here, and they're so far apart that I get this energy of like, there could have been miscommunication among leaders, the top leaders of this camp. Like people not being necessarily pragmatic enough. And I get this energy coming up as well of people saying like, it will never happen. It will never happen to us. It will never happen. Like disaster striking, like true disaster. And I get this feeling from the cards coming up, like we never thought this would happen. We never thought this would have happened. We thought that we were doing enough, but what the cards are saying is that, you know, you actually weren't doing enough. You had to do more to protect everyone in this situation. With the Six of Cups coming up here, I get that energy of, actually I'm kind of seeing with the 3 cards in the middle, like the night of everything happening. You really see it like everybody kind of having a good time, thinking everything is fine with Six of Cups here. And also, seeing as it is number 6, it is also that Virgo energy again of that details and capability. But I feel it here with these like sprites or fairies. I'm seeing particularly about the young people there at the camp. It can be about counselors and the, how do you say, campers as well, who were very much feeling like, okay, we can do this. We're prepared for this. With the Two of Wands as well, you see the Two of Wands here is that kind of energy, because I'm seeing here it's like a kind of timeline of events. Like Six of Cups, they kind of knew like, okay, we have a warning. We understand that something could happen, and so let's be prepared. And it's kind of like I see here they're passing these cups as kind of like lanterns, like, or even like preparedness packages that night. And with the two of Wands here, you see a kind of different story. It's like, okay, the rain is here now. If you just see this Two of Cups here, let me pick it up for you. It's like, the rain is here now, but we are going to do this. You know, like we have everything all together. We have the strategy in our hands, and we have our lanterns. We have our even flashlights or what we need to survive this. And let's, you know, we feel confident. Let's go head on with it. But when that situation happened, when the cabins were swept away, you see here in the reverse, Knight of Cups coming up. So it's like quickly a loss of confidence, you guys, you can say loss of confidence in what was going on there when it happened on that night. The Cups is all about emotion, and with the Knight energy, it is all about, you know, being really like a knight, like moving towards trying to save something, being heroic, brave. I feel like their bravery was somewhat shaken that night, and their confidence was definitely shaken by what happened that night. I feel like up until it got really serious, they were feeling quite good, quite confident about everything that was going on there. And then when it came to people being swept away, yeah, they realized that this is quite a very serious situation. But I also want to say with the Empress card here, I get this energy also of news. Empress. I don't know why I get this energy of like a newscaster coming up with this Empress card, and it is number 3, which is Gemini energy as well, which is about communication, intelligence. The Emperor here is number 4 actually, but the Empress is number 3, and it's like, I feel this energy of a lot of different people from the camp talking to the press with this card, and I feel this energy as well of trying to make things known, trying to make things in the situation known. And I feel them saying like, we did everything we could. This is the words coming up. We did everything we could to save the people that we saved, and we're happy that the people who are still alive are still alive. And also, we're very sorry about the loss of life. And particularly, I'm hearing we're very sorry about the loss of life of the Richard, who was running the camp. I'm hearing that coming up. And I'm seeing this Empress card also being like, you actually you see she has her hand on her belly when it looks kind of pregnant. We did get that energy coming up a few times here about baby, new beginnings. Like, this is a new beginning. Like, I feel it's a new era for this camp strongly coming up. I feel like they're going to be very, very, very careful in the future, and any sign of any kind of potential disaster, I feel like they will evacuate everyone immediately before it even strikes or hits. Like, they're going to be very, very careful about this in the future. And I also feel this energy coming up right now in a message about alternative place is what I'm hearing. Alternative place, like they will have potentially a new alternative campground or something where it's a lot better, like they can evacuate to there or something like that. I feel them, maybe they're already building it, or maybe they will be building it. Yeah, And with the Eight of Pentacles here in reverse, you see how it really is that energy of like campground, and like teaching children how to do something, create something. I feel like this camp, you know, there's so much that we can learn in school or learn in groups when we're young, but it's more than just, you know, what you actually learn there. There's also those social skills and those community skills and that whole environment, you know, that whole environment of learning to be a person, you know, learning to be a citizen, learning to be like a good person, you can say, in a community. So with that Eight of Pentacles there coming up in reverse, I feel this energy of like the camp will carry on, but there can be this heaviness on people, especially in a few coming years. For all those people who remembered this tragedy, I feel like there is going to be some fear. And with the number 8 energy, it is that Scorpio energy. So it's like those things may be kind of unsaid, but I feel them as a community which really speaks to each other a lot. So not everything may be unsaid, but I feel also from this card something about management and about like a guild of people who are making decisions. And I feel like they are going to have maybe even a new committee, a new safety committee, and I feel like they're going to be working with, you can say, like the government or officials or other people who help in certain circumstances with these kind of things. Like I feel like they are going to be communicating very, very closely with those type of people in the future. Yeah, so I want to take one more card. So if you are watching and you were directly affected, you know, by this tragedy, I want to say I'm very deeply sorry for you. Sorry for your loss, for the losses that happened in this tragedy. Let's take one more card. What do we need to know about this situation? The general public, what do we need to know? Thank you. Community, connections. With number 3, Gemini energy coming up, plus Pisces energy. It's about deep emotions. You see what it says here: community, connections, new direction, keeping it moving, control the flow of information, many working parts, redirect. So I feel like I've said it before, but yeah, they are going to go on, continue on, and make things work for them. Regroup and try to do better in the future is what I feel. So I don't feel like the place will be closed forever. I definitely not. I feel like they're going to keep going and keep trying to make things better and really stay strong in faith also is what I'm hearing. So yeah, friends, thank you so much for tuning in today, this reading. Please, you know, press a like, subscribe, and also I do really like to take viewer requests for readings for world events, for political readings, for celebrity readings, or anything that you guys are interested to know about. I really love hearing from all of you. And also I want to say that I have an Instagram up and running. If you feel you can contact me directly. I also do private readings and by donation, by the way. And yes, I do want to say that my PayPal is linked on each video, and it's on my Instagram as well. It's on my YouTube description as well. And yes, if I do get to your viewer request, you know, I just want to say one thing, which is that tips are good karma. You know, tips, you know, tipping people. Yeah, I appreciate support, guys. I would appreciate the support. I spend a lot of time and hours doing these readings. I love it, and I want to keep going with it. So yeah, please, tips, you know. Yeah, so that's all for today, and I wish you all the best, wish you love and light, and take care of yourself. Bye.